Hi, I'm Joe Saunders with Miniature Landscape Hobbies, and today we're at Miniature World in Victoria, BC. Let's take a look. Maybe we can get some inspiration for some builds of our own.
In August, my family and I went on vacation to Canada's west coast. While we were there, we knew we had to visit Victoria, BC's famous Miniature World. This attraction features dioramas of every type, making it an interesting place to tour for anyone who has any interest in history or building in miniature. Featuring model spreads from historical events like World War II to fantasy like the Knights of the Round Table, Miniature World has something for everybody. And most importantly, there's lots of inspiration to get you going on your next miniature build.
That tree right there? Awesome.
Let's take a look. Inside, you're greeted by a staggering quantity of different dioramas. Some are whimsical, others are grounded in reality. Some are admittedly a little amateurish, but the vast majority are excellent. Now, as I am primarily a historical wargamer and model builder, and so are my sons, we spent more time looking at the World War II themed exhibits than most. The scales varied, but all of them were great. In particular, I found the cityscapes to be exceptional. I think a few of these buildings may find themselves rendered in 1/100 scale for my Flames of War city spread. If you're interested in other historical periods, there's plenty to see. The American War of Independence has an exhibit. If you're up for some redcoat action, and there's an excellent Civil War display too, with a lot of models. Other historical periods are well represented. The Wild West has a diorama, and as a patriotic Canadian, I really thought it was a nice touch to see some of Canada's regions highlighted, including our East Coast, our West Coast, and our Native people's cultural heritage. I think the first wargaming terrain I ever built was a castle, and I probably built it when I was about 10 or 11. So when I saw this spectacular castle spread, I was really impressed. I don't play any medieval war games right now, but if I did, I would really want to play them on this battlefield. One of the great things about the displays was how they covered practically all of the disciplines of building in miniature. For scale modelers, there were things such as these airplanes, and the model train spreads. They were huge and excellent. and also represented in several different scales. Car models are not really my thing, unless they're tanks, but there were a ton, and they looked really, really good. As well, there were models of historical landmarks, which was meaningful for me because one of the major subjects in my series is models of places where I've traveled to. There is also plenty of larger scale features, including an impressive haul of dollhouses. My teenage sons were filming, so they kind of skipped this part. But trust me, these dollhouses were impressive. Several exhibits had working lights, and this added a lot of atmosphere, including nightfall scenes. There were plenty of cityscapes with motion elements built in, and one display even had moving circus rides. So, if you have some time to spare and you find yourself on Canada's west coast, on Vancouver Island, by all means, I really suggest that you go to Miniature World. If you're like me or many of my channel's viewers, and you maybe eat, breathe, and sleep life in miniature, then I would suggest you do whatever you can to get to this place. It really was very impressive, and the images and video I took while I was there are always close at hand when I'm working on my projects. That way I can refer to them to get ideas and get inspiration. Who knows, in some of my upcoming projects, maybe you'll see some examples of some details that you noticed in this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it. And I must say, I really did enjoy making this one. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and follow along. We have videos coming out regularly on all sorts of different subjects for building a miniature. If you enjoyed this content, why don't you consider supporting me on Patreon? I have many levels of subscriber for anybody's budget. If Patreon's not your thing, in the video description, you'll also find a link to my Etsy store. Check it out. Many of my model building projects are available for sale there. As always, thanks for watching, and remember to keep building life in miniature.